or Diamond Heist? 2 books, 1 work trip? I don't know what I'm gonna choose, but let's see what happens. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Alexis Brianna and I am so glad that you're here. So I want to try something a little bit different for this vlog. I want to attempt a TBR takedown. I have a work trip in Houston and I really want to challenge myself to read 1 book from start to finish during that trip. However, I don't know what I'm going to be in the mood for. I'm already reading The Great Hunt, so I'm filming a separate vlog series for that, part of the Wheel of Time series. I'll definitely link those previous vlogs down below if you haven't caught up to them. But the other 2 books that I'm bringing with me are Dragonfruit by Makia Lucier, and then I'm also bringing with me Jewel Me Twice by Cherish Reed. So technically this could be either a September or October TBR takedown because Dragonfruit is on my September TBR and Jewel Me Twice is on my October TBR. There are a couple of days left in September, so if I finish this, then I technically would be checking that off, but I don't know. I don't want to read it if I'm not in the mood for it and not really appreciate it, because it is a YA fantasy that centers an indigenous female and it's based off of, I believe, Pacific Islander folklore, and it's written by someone from the Pacific Islands. Yes, she's from the nation of Guam, and I just really love that representation, and so I don't want to not give this book a fair chance because I'm not in the mood for it. And yeah, did I go over the background? Anyways, if I did, sorry. But essentially, the female main character is uncovering a whole lot of family secrets, magic. She's going on a quest to find something. I won't say what it is, but again, I really want to give this book a fair chance. And then Jewel Me Twice is about 2 thieves who used to be partners and they also used to be in a relationship, but they are now coming together, I think 5 years later or so, or a couple of years later. It's not 5 years. They are honoring their mentor's final wishes and doing one last big heist together. So this just seems like a funny, fun one, not anything that's too deep, but really excited to dig into really both of these because I haven't read anything from either of these authors, and they are both women of color. And I also don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off. Like, work is just unpredictable on these trips, so this is really going to be a challenge, but we're gonna see. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. All right, grab something to drink, grab something to eat, and let's head to Houston. To shut it down for the night, so I was like, let me update you on my progress in the books, my thoughts on the book so far, and just where I'm leaning towards. So I have made it 2 chapters in on Jewel with Me Twice, and so far I would say it's like ramping up into the action. We haven't really gotten into it. I would say it has a slower start than I was anticipating, just based on it being like a thievery action-based romance, but I think it's about to ramp up into it. We do get dual POVs at least up into this point. I don't know if they're going to introduce, or she's going to introduce, more POVs, but what I will say about those POVs is I was not expecting it because of how it's done. So it's not like the name at the top of the chapter and then it transitioned in the next chapter into another POV. No, it switches in the middle of the chapter and you get like no warning. It's like, I guess the warning is more than a couple of like lines. I'm trying to find it. Probably, of course, because I am recording. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Where is it? It's like, It's right here. Hold on. This is gonna bother me now. Yeah, it's like one line. Like there's the break is basically, it's not, so to me I was like, oh, maybe, you know, there's a break, but then I guess like how it starts, it's like, oh, you kind of could tell. Oh, but at first when I was reading it, I was just like, oh, that I thought that the main POV was observing it, not that, oh, now we are like, this is a new POV. Anyways, I'm rambling at this point. I just wish that it was labeled. I said all that to say. Said all of those words to say I wish the POVs were labeled. I enjoy multiple POVs, dual POV. I know that's not everyone's thing, but I do enjoy it. But I won't say I'm not enjoying it. I'm liking it so far. I don't have any negative feelings so far. However, it is not grabbing me like Dragonfruit is. I am 4 chapters in this book and it is so good. I am absolutely enjoying this book. The world building, especially for a YA fantasy, it is it is living up, at least so far, 4 chapters in, it's living up to my expectations. I think for me, one of the things is, and I talk about this, is sometimes the world building in fantasies is just really a lot of info dumping and not natural ways. Like it's very unnatural, but I feel like the world building in this book and the storytelling is very natural. And yes, you do get a lot of information at times, but I don't feel like it's overwhelming. It matches what is happening during that scene or where we're at in the plot. Like it matches, and just how we're learning more about the main female character. I'm really loving the storytelling in this book and loving the main female character and just her personality and how strong she is, and just like learning more about her history. And I'll leave it there because I don't want to spoil it. But just, I'm really enjoying that aspect of it. I'm also very impressed by how she covers some deeper topics and some deeper themes, especially in a YA. I feel like it's being done in a tasteful way, in a way that is not brutal. 3 things that I will say that potentially could trigger you. If you're not traditionally a fantasy reader, or if you are considering, getting this for your child or your young adult teenager to read, then I would say animal cruelty and unaliving is definitely mentioned and depicted in this book. And so if that is something that you're sensitive about, don't pass go, do not pick this up. What else? Oh, if you are someone who is a vegan or a vegetarian, or even if you're not those things, but you're very sensitive to reading about consumption of animals, then don't pass go, don't read this book either. And then the third thing that I would say, okay. Child labor. It is definitely depicted in the book. Again, for me, I'm like, child labor is just a fact of what happens even in our world, and it's very unfortunate. And I think that this book does a good job, at least so far, of not like fantasizing it or like glamorizing, that's a better word, glamorizing it, or even just putting it up on a pedestal. It actually is like, shows like somewhat of the brutality of it and the wrongness of it. Again, to me, in a way that is appropriate for the age group that this book is targeting. But I did want to mention those things because I'm like, okay, I am really enjoying it. It's very fast paced, but I could see how some people would want to know those things are coming up in this book before they explored it, especially because it's YA. Some people, I think, just want to have, a little bit more knowingness before they get something for their kids. And I was trying to read just to see, I don't see, at least in this version of the book, any trigger warnings. Like in the first couple of pages, like there aren't any trigger warnings. So I was going to see if maybe if there was anything else coming up, but maybe if any of those things that I mentioned bothered you, then I'd definitely check out to see if there are maybe trigger warnings online or something about that. Okay, I think that's it. Anyways, I'm going to hopefully be able to read 1 or 2 more chapters in this, and then I got to go to bed. But I'm really enjoying this book so far. Really enjoying it. Okay, before I finish getting ready for the day, I wanted to pause and just update you on my thoughts on the book. And I'm about halfway. Yeah, about a little halfway. I'm about to go into chapter 14. I'm going to listen to that while I wash my face and get ready for the day. But I am absolutely loving the narrator's voice in this book. Like, oh my gosh, what's the phrase? It makes the story feel authentic. It's like it immerses you in it. And I'm definitely going to be listening to the audiobook as much as possible. So I probably will either go from audio only to tandem or immersively reading it while I'm reading the physical book, because I am just absolutely loving her voice. Like it just I'm loving her voice. And it also helps with like correct pronunciations of names. Like, oh, that's how you say that name. Anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, yes, the plot is still moving very quickly. So I do think that for younger readers or young adult readers that this is a really good fantasy in terms of like pacing. I think with some of the adult fantasies that I have read, there are some slower, like chunkier sections sometimes. Like even with Eye of the World, like the beginning was very slow paced. Like it was slow going and like you kind of have to like have some patience through some of the longer, thicker world building and storytelling and just all of the foundation laying. And I know Eye of the World and the World Wheel of Time series is different because it's an epic fantasy, not just a fantasy. Anyways, neither here nor there. I do think that the fast pacedness is really just helping get through the book, but also just the writing. The writing is really, really good. I'm absolutely loving the writing. What else? Oh, the magic system and how the world is. I think it's okay. I don't know what parts are coming from, like the Pacific Islander mythology and like traditions and things like that. But what I will say is I could see how potential readers could be challenged or really think through some of the things that are being brought up in this, in this book. I think that I'm trying not to give things away in case you want to read this book and you don't want spoilers. I think that this fantasy challenges you to think about morality, and ethicalness and complex things that are, yes, this is a fantasy world, but a lot of this could be applicable in the real world and like how we go about the world and how certain things are. I am really struggling. I am really struggling not to give things away. But yes, I'm loving the potential for even you as a parent to have conversations with your child around some of these issues, right? That you're talking about a book that is fictional, right? But it's applicable to a lot of things in the real world. I think that this book can spark a whole lot of conversations about a whole lot of topics. So I will end that part there. We are now starting to get in the within the part of the story that I'm in, a little bit of a hint. It's not really there, but like a hint, like a sprinkling of a subplot of romance, just a little bit. Again, it's age appropriate. It's nothing like spicier, nothing like that. And it's just a hint. I just can see where it can go just based on like some of the flashbacks that we've gotten. We haven't gotten a lot of flashbacks, so it's like not overwhelming. I'm a type of person that I don't like a whole lot of flashbacks. Like I don't like the whole where past and then present, past and present. I just haven't seen that done well. Let me stay on topic because I gotta get ready. I think those are all of my thoughts, but I am really, really, really enjoying this book so far and glad that I chose this book for the challenge because I feel like the pace that I'm going, I am going to be able to finish this book on my work trip. Pretty sure. But we'll see. Let's get to reading while I get ready for the day. So I'm back home and I gotta be quick because I don't know when my daughter is going to get home and bust through that door, and then I won't be able to film a close for y'all. So many thoughts. My mind is literally ping ponging of where do I even begin. First, I cannot believe that I finished this book from start to finish during a work trip. Now, I will say the pacing of this book and just the engagingness of this book definitely helps like me want to push through some of those sleepy moments and just fit reading into every crook and cranny that I had. When I say every crook and cranny that I had, I was reading this book. Okay, so thoughts. First, as an overview, I think that this is an amazing addition to the YA fantasy genre. Just the representation, the engagingness, the pacing. I think that the pacing of this for a YA audience it will keep them engaged. It will keep them in tune. Just adult fantasies are usually super dense in world building, and this does world building in a way where you're getting world building pretty much throughout the entire book, so that you're able to have context to certain decisions and things that are happening and just the magic system. And so she did an amazing job of building this world and keeping it engaging, and just the magic system, what I'll say, because I feel like talking about the magic in the world, and this is so hard for me, because I don't want to give it away because it is so unique. It strays from the traditional European style or just the old school style of fantasy tropes and a lot of the patterns that we see in traditional fantasy. And I think that is because she's pulling from Pacific Islander myths, like actual myths. And I just find it to be beautiful and engaging and intriguing. And it made me want to look into the mythology and learn more about it, and even see if there are other books that cover this mythology, because it's just such a unique world. And I felt really immersed in the world. And again, it's not a short book by any stretch of the imagination, right? It's not a novella, but it's not as thick as some of the other fantasies that I've read. And so again, I think it's a good middle of the road. And if you are an adult or someone who is interested into getting into fantasy, but you're like epic fantasies like Wheel of Time or some of the other epic fantasies that are out there, maybe just feel like overwhelming or intimidating, or just feels a lot. Maybe it's not overwhelming or intimidating, just feels like a lot, right? I think that this is a good introduction into it. Now, if you are someone who wants a more romance-focused fantasy or story, I don't think that like this is a story for that. This is definitely a fantasy that prioritizes the journey, the trek, the quest. It's quest focused versus like quest with romance. Like I would say romance is like the cherry on top, the subplot. Like it's sprinkled, and it's definitely age appropriate. It's not like spicy or anything like that. What else? Oh, okay. So one thing, and I think I talked about this earlier, I think there are a lot of things that will strike interesting conversations without giving things away. Interesting conversations about morality and ethics and yeah. I could see how you could have some really engaging conversations with teens, young adults, and even just amongst adults of the parallels between this world and ours. I think that a lot of the things are done in a tasteful way. There is violence depicted in this. I don't know if I mentioned this because I don't know if I had gotten to that point in the book, but there is violence on page. And there was a story arc with a character in the book that, oh my gosh, I was like, I had to stop physically reading the book. I was just like, man, my heart, like, I was like, dang, not my boy. Like, not my boy. I don't feel like that's a spoiler, but man, I was just like, okay, focus, Alexis. You got a short amount of time. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, violence. So chaotic. Okay. Violence on the page is definitely there. I don't know. I don't know like what I would rate like the violence and stuff like that, just because it's hard, because the PG-13 movies out there are pretty gruesome and graphic. So I'm like, on a scale, like maybe it would seem like it's a little bit, could be more graphic because you're reading it and you get more descriptors than if you're seeing. I don't know. There is violence on the page. That's about all I got. I can't really gauge Like, if it's more gruesome, less gruesome, sorry about that, can't be a little more descriptive, but there is violence. There, you do see unaliving, or not see, but you do read about unaliving and fighting things on the page. Yes, and it's described. It's descriptive. Hopefully that helps. What else am I missing? What else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, that's all my brain can do right now. But again, just to recap, love the representation. The pacing is amazing. You feel engaged through every single chapter. The chapters do leave on a bit of cliffhanger but like it makes you want to turn the page. The chapters, some are pretty short where they're only a couple of minutes. Some are longer where it takes you 30 minutes to get through a chapter depending on how fast of a reader you are. There are going to be characters that you absolutely love, characters you absolutely cannot stand, and characters that are morally gray. Oh, speaking of morally gray, there are decisions. Again, it goes back to just this book leading to a lot of interesting conversations because of the parallels with our world and this world. Some of the decisions that they make in this book, I'm just like, interesting. I need to do a spoiler version of this video so we could talk like about this book. Man, I'd be really interested to talk to the author like about this and like, okay, I'm going down rabbit holes. I apologize. All that to say, I love this book. I think it's an amazing palate cleanser. If you are reading like a thicker fantasy, it was a great palate cleanser for me while I was reading, The Great Hunt. Yes, recommend this at the end of the day. I'm like one of those Baptist preachers that keep having a fake benediction, if you know, and just not ending in, bring it on home. So I'm about to bring it on home. I recommend this book. That's I'm sorry. Okay. We're serious. All right. I love this book. I can't believe that I finished it in a work trip. Read it for representation. Support this author. Get the audiobook if you can. Check your library because it was at mine. Both the audio and this was ebook was at my library. So check your library. If you made it to this point in the video, me and you, we're homies. Welcome to the end of the video, crew. I am normally not this chaotic. Be sure to drop a flower in the comments section. I always love to know who's hung out with me until the end. And if you definitely hung out with me to the end of this one, I love you down. I love you down. All right, I'm just gonna stop. Okay, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, like, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a new video from me. Until the next time, happy reading. Bye, y'all.